All right, fifth graders. So today we are here in Module 3 and we are learning about Lesson 1. So today our objective is to make equivalent fractions with the number line, the area model, and numbers. So we're going to be making some equivalent fractions here. So our first problem here is problem 1, and it's make fractions equal to 1/2. Equal to 1/2. So first thing I'm going to do is to label 1/2 on the number line. So I'm always going to start off with 0, and then my endpoint is 1. So in halves, 1 is 2 halves, so 2 over 2. Half is right in the middle of 0 and 1. We're going to label that with a 1/2. So right here would be a 1/2. Now, down at the bottom, I have shaded all of these area models with 1/2 vertically. So all of these 4 area models at the bottom are showing 1/2. So this first one, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make one horizontal cut. So this horizontal cut changes this from 1/2 to 2/4. Now what happens is that when I multiply it by 2 times 2, it's not changing the value of either of those amounts, but it's changing the numbers. So 2/4 is the same as 1/2, it's just in smaller portions. The second one, I'm going to make 2 horizontal cuts. So this one became 1/2 times 3 times 3, and this becomes 3/6. Okay, this third one, I'm going to make 3 cuts. So every cut became 4 of them, or sorry, every cut became, let me back up. So when I make this cut, or these cuts, my 1 that was shaded in became 4. So my 1/2 times 4 times 4 became a 4/8. And then finally, my last one, I'm going to make 4 cuts, and that would be like 1/2 times 5 times 5, and this would give me 5/10. So all of these fractions, 2/4, 3/6, 4/8, 5/10, are all equivalent to 1/2. So this is the strategy we're going to use to make these equivalent fractions. All right, here we are at problem 2. So we are going to label our number line. So it says make fractions equal to 1/3. So 1 is over here on the right, 0 on the left. 1 in thirds would be 3/3. So now I'm going to go to my original one, would be 0/3, 1/3, 2/3, and then the end one would be 3/3. So if I'm going to be at 1/3, it would be right here. So my area models now are vertically showing 1/3. So very similar to our last one, we're going to make these horizontal cuts. So I am going to show the cuts in the rest of the area models. So this first one, we make one cut. This would be 1/3 times 2 times 2, which would be 2/6. The next one, I'd have 2 cuts. This would be 1/3 times 3 times 3. This would be 3/9, so 3 shaded out of a total of 9. This next one, 1/3, 1, 2, 3, 3 cuts, so I multiply by 4. Every part became 4, so this would be 4/12. And then finally, my last one would be cut 5 times, so it'd be 1/3 times 5 times 5, which would be 5/15. So once again, 2/6, 3/9, 4/12, and 5/15 are all equivalent to this 1/3. So here we run into our first non-unit fraction. So here we're making fractions equal to 2/3. So a unit fraction has a denominator of 1. So 1/3, 1/2, 1/4, and so on and so forth. So 2/3 is not a unit fraction. So I'm going to start with my number line. Once again, I'm in thirds, so the end is going to be 3/3. So right here I have 1/3, 2/3, and then 3/3. So 2/3 is the fraction that I am making here. So once again, we are going to horizontally cut these fraction models. So this first one, I have 2/3. So 2/3 times 2 times 2 equals 4/6. Cut this one twice. So 2/3 times 3 times 3 equals 6/9. The next one, 3 cuts will be 2/3 times 4 times 4 equals 8/12. And then the last one I cut horizontally 4 times, and that would be 2/3 times 5 times 5, and that would be 10/15. So once again, 4/6, 6/9, 8/12, and 10/15 are equivalent to our fraction 2/3. All right, we have problem 4. So make fractions equal to 5/4. This fraction is actually greater than 1. So I'm going to label my fraction with 1, 2, and 0. So my denominator is 4, so I'm in fourths. So I'm going to label my number line with fourths. So I'd have 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4 is a whole, and then 5/4 would be one more. So that is where my number lies on the number line. So this one, we're going to use the same exact way of creating my equivalent fractions. This first one, I'm going to make one horizontal partition there and one horizontal partition there. So this became 5/4 times 2 times 2. So it became 10/8. We are in eighths. Right here we have 8/8, and here we have 2/8, so that became 10/8. On the right hand side, we're going to cut this horizontally twice. So this would be 5/4 times 3 times 3, and this would give us 15/12. So over here on the left, we have 12/12, and then plus 3/12. That gives us 15. So both 15/12 and 10/8 are equivalent to 5/4. This is a very easy way to make equivalent fractions, and it's very easy to see that we're not changing any of the values, we're just showing them in smaller pieces on all of the fractions that we've made today.